We are in uncertain times. And so today I want to talk to you about how to handle your uncertainty holistically. So let's get started.
Welcome to the I'm Perfectly Divine podcast, a place for the strong, sensitive spiritual seeker to recognize the perfection of your human journey as a path to spiritual worlds through proven and grounded frameworks that support you to live in the wholeness you already are. For over the past 2 decades, I have supported people from all around the world, as well as Fortune 500 companies, to dissolve the divisions within them and live with greater empowerment and love. This podcast is an exploration of the paradoxes that befuddle us as we live our lives being both human and divine. Together, you and I, along with other experts, will navigate integrating psychology and spirituality, the divine feminine and the divine masculine, the darkness and the light, to create greater sacred union from within. I believe through your remembering that you are innately divine, that you will allow yourself to more openly shine. So let's get to it, because your unique light is needed more than ever.
Welcome, my strong spiritual sensitives. I am so excited to be with you today because you're sensitive, and I bet you are feeling that sense of uncertainty all around us. And especially if you're in the US, because we have had now the elections when you're going to be hearing this. I'm recording this a little bit beforehand. And my sense is that this uncertainty is not going to go away right away, because we're not going to have answers right away. And I want to support you to address your uncertainty holistically. And I'm going to give you the exact steps that I go through when I'm feeling uncertain, and how I can come back to a place of feeling inner peace and strength from within, because that's really what this is all about. And that's what we have control over. So, again, there's a lot happening in our world. And so there's a reason why you are feeling uncertain. We are going through a lot of transformations, and in this highly contested race, there's a lot of fear, anxiety, worst case scenarios coming up for people, and it's really brewing in our minds, and then we start to feel this in our emotionally and in our bodies. And so what we want to do is be able to approach this uncertainty from mind, body, spirit, and emotion. That's what I mean by holistically, because we can often turn to one or two of those. But what I have found is, if we don't incorporate all four, something's off balance, something isn't quite right. And so it's really this practice that supports us to honor and activate the power of each of these aspects of ourself that create our wholeness, to make sure they're running in alignment with the truth and love that we are. And so uncertainty is really just this fear of the unknown. And this is what we can learn to go into rather than run away from, rather than try to control. And these are a lot of ways that our ego tries to take over and tries to get us really spinning on that hamster wheel of, how can I fix this? How can I resolve this? And it's out of your control. And so it's really about, how do we find control within ourselves, not from a controlling over place, but a place of finding peace within, that we can authentically find that peace within. And so I'm going to give you, again, the steps that I take, and I'm going to give them to you in the order that I utilize them. And hopefully this will be supportive of you as you understand why I'm working in this order, and how this, again, works to bring a sense of inner safety from within. So to do that, I start with the body. Body comes first, because we're in these these material beings that we get to, our spirit gets to work from, right? And when our body is feeling it, we really want to support our body to feel safe. And one of the best ways that I know how to do this is what is called grounding, or you can also refer to it as rooting, because you are literally trying to imagine roots growing from the bottom of your feet, the soles of your feet growing into the earth, anchoring in to the center of the earth, and as how I view it, as the love of the divine mother who is at the core of the earth, and bringing in these roots to ground and anchor yourself to know that you are safe, that you are here now for a reason, and to ask for that support of the energy of the core of the earth to help you ground and feel safe. And imagining, once you envision those roots from your feet going down into the earth, that once you feel anchored in, that you can receive that energy from the core of the earth back up, uh, past your feet and going in through your feet, and then up your calves, your knees, your thighs, to your root chakra. And your root chakra is really important because this is where we hold energetically a sense of safety from within. And so I did recently a great free practice called Chakra Reboot, which was really about supporting people to recognize where there are energetic imbalances within their body, because our chakras is a way to understand the energy and the different places within our body that we hold different energy, beliefs, and emotion, and how our body is trying to process that. And so my chakra reboot was a free experience to help you understand any blockages and to support you to begin to work through them. Now it's over, but don't worry. There's going to be an opportunity for us to do this again. And so you can sign up and be on the wait list, because I think this is going to be a continued practice that we need as we go through a period of transformation. So uh, what I will say is that with the root chakra, we can work with, again, the grounding technique, as well as things that are very grounded into the earth. I love connecting to trees. And you can put your hands on a tree that calls to you. You can put your forehead against a tree, and really asking for permission, insight, guidance, and how you can root into the earth and feel safer. Trees to me have so much ancient wisdom, and they have offered me a sense of calm and peace when I have been going through my own inner transformations. And so certainly they're there to support us as the world goes through outer transformations as well. And I think that just brings me in general to being out in nature. Nature is such a healing aspect because nature helps ground us in remembering the cycles of life. So we get to see and witness through nature the cycles of death and rebirth, and that with each death, each fallen leaf, each aspect that goes back down into the ground, there is a reason for it. There is a rejuvenation that supports the next rebirth, the next expression that is meant to come forward. And so being in nature and just being in the stillness of it, reflecting on the beauty of it, seeing the beauty in all aspects of nature is really powerful. I mean, we're here in the fall, and it's interesting that we see leaves all the time, but it's when they fall to the earth, when they have left the tree and are in this cycle of death, that we celebrate them. We see the beauty in them. We collect them. And so allowing that to be an offering to you to help you with your body to support you in these natural cycles of life that happen within our world and that happen within us. And of course, we're going to be able to do this in a more productive way if we are without our phones. I know people like music, but we're really wanting to support ourselves or support our body to feel safe in the present moment. So nature itself can help you just going out for a walk, absolutely. But I want to support you to be even more present and without the distractions. And so without a phone, we're going to be able to be more learning that our body is safe in this present moment. And the present moment is all that we have. And in this moment, if you're going for a walk, you're safe. We can also use this time to garden or to till our gardens to get our gardens prepared for winter, or exercise. Exercising and taking care of your body at this time can be really a powerful practice. Um, so once your body has moved out some energy that was feeling uncertain, we can move on to spirit. And again, I can sometimes move spirit first, but what I found is that when I'm really uncertain, shifting the energy out of my body, working it through a bit can really support a deeper spiritual connection. So then I invite us to go into whatever spiritual practice you have. Maybe it's prayer, maybe it's meditation, perhaps it's intention setting and really focusing on the world you are intending from your heart. And so with prayer, with these pieces, it's really coming from a place of expansiveness and trust and leaning into what are the important aspects of life that you want to dream into reality, and how can you, through your intention, prayer, meditation, support the holding of this to come forward. And to me, our relationship to the divine, our relationship to a power beyond ourselves can support us to get beyond our human limitations of what we believe is possible within our humanity, to tap into the expansiveness of a power that is beyond us, and that when we connect from a place of expansiveness, can allow expansiveness to occur in ways that our rational mind can't comprehend how that happened. And so we're really tapping into that miracle energy, that energy of love, the energy that is supporting you to remember that we are love and that there is more love to be experienced and expressed in our lives and in our world. And so really this practice, whatever it is, the benefit of it is the silence. And again, in that silence, you may at first hear your ego's fears and so forth, but if you really allow yourself to just see those fears kind of um, passing in through your mind, and then anchoring in that that in this moment, that fear is not true. In this moment, what do I have? What do you have if you were to look around you? And there's some love story to connect with. And that is the opportunity that our divinity is always asking us to see if we can find. So as we allow ourselves to have this present moment and know that it's all that any of us have, there are no guarantees, and this is all that we have is the present moment, and really allowing us to reflect then in the silence. How can I listen to what I am called for next as the world goes through this sense of transformation? And maybe right now it's just holding on to you from a friend who says, "Oh, you know what? I was feeling ungrounded and went to this yoga practice and I felt great afterwards." To take the spiritual breadcrumb rather than poo-poo it, right? Like, this is the way the divine works. Yes, miracles can happen. Sometimes all our worries can be taken away. Most of the time, because we are here to experience our divinity through our humanity, we are asked to step forward. We're asked to step forwards in ways that our mind will poo-poo, that the ego will say, don't bother. The ego will say, that's not going to help me. That you can work through that and really say, oh, I've been feeling ungrounded here. My friend, out of nowhere, supposedly, right, says, this helped me feel more grounded. And so there are no accidents. This is guidance to support you, to help you during time of feeling uncertain and transition. Now, after we get our body more grounded, we've done some spiritual connection so that we're feeling more at peace. Now is the time to go into the emotional aspects, because when uncertainty heightens, disempowered emotions go haywire, right? This is your ego's like, bam, this is my opportunity to get in and really demonstrate the fears that are still whirling around within us. We have these certain triggers to help us to evolve. And so, uncertainty is your ego's best friend. Your ego loves it, but you can learn to work with your emotions to support you to have greater insights as to where you are giving your power away. If we really look at this and we utilize universal laws and principles, one of them being the law of polarity, and understanding that the core of an emotional expression, if we're feeling fear and uncertainty, then on the other side of that must be peace and certainty. Did I say that right? Sorry. If there was fear and uncertainty on one side, then on the other side is peace and certainty. So this is the law of polarity. And the ego wants to get you trapped in the fear. It wants to get your mind to wrap around all the worst case scenarios and all the things you don't have control over, to make you think from an ego perspective that you can control things that you cannot. And that just disempowers us. That's where we start spinning, trying to control things outside of ourselves. The way to get to the other pole, the other side of this polarity, is to utilize this information to help guide you to understand where you're giving your power away, because that's how you can access it again. So be aware of all your feelings. You can journal and see if you can access the insight that they're offering you, because they are offering you the ways in which you are giving your power away, and you can see it in when you journal and the thoughts and beliefs that come up. And then it's really a practice about learning to lean into the darkness, the so-called darkness, because that is where greater inner freedom awaits. So if we think about what we're going through, this place of uncertainty, this unknown, the path is not clear. We refer to it to the darkness because we don't know what lies ahead. Go on this path of learning, where do I give my power away, trying to control things that I don't have control over, to finding my power through greater inner resourcefulness. And so if you need more support with that, I will link you to my institute. We have programs to support you to learn how to shift your relationship with your emotions from disempowerment to empowerment. I'll make sure to link that along with the wait list for the chakra reboot. I'll also say that emotionally, it's kind of a body emotion piece, is flower essences can be really supportive. If flower essences, if you haven't heard about them, these are energetic imprints of flowers that can support our energetic frequency and vibrance and and how our energy is vibrating, right? How our energy is, because we're ingesting this into our body as part of the water that we are, to help these energetic lines of frequency run a bit more smoothly. So through these steps, now I think you're ready to address the mind. Now, most of us want to go to the mind right away, and this is why the mind is the last step. Because if we address the mind right away, that hey, I have a safety kit with some band-aids, medicine. I don't know if that makes you feel good. Great, but if your ego is jumping from one thing after the next that you've got to do to make yourself feel safe, you will never feel safe that way. The way to get there is your inner knowing, your inner resourcefulness, your inner peace. That is what you have control over. And so once we get through the mind, spirit, and emotion, and that emotion piece is important, because without that, you can try to change your perspective, but if the fear is still running you, your mind's going to go back to the fear, regardless of any positive affirmation that you say, because we want to not just change your perception, but your belief. And belief has emotion with it. It's what you know to be true within you. And that is anchored in through emotion. And so through the above steps, you're going to have your body grounded. You're going to have a spiritual intention and expansion of your heart. You're going to shift from your emotional, energetic imprint from disempowerment to empowerment. And this will allow you to start to shift your perspective from one that fosters from one that was disempowered beliefs to empowered beliefs. And so this is really about your mind is it's trying to tell you that things are out of your control and you don't have power. And the reality is that you are the change that your heart desires in the world. You are that change. And so we want to get our mind connected with that, not from a fearful place, but from a place of understanding the reality of transformation. And we have a beautiful, well-known visual of what transformation looks like when we see the caterpillar turn into the butterfly. And we know that that is not pretty and it's not easy, but it doesn't stop the caterpillar, right? And it should not stop you either. So you are out of your control, or you can focus on how you've leaned into trusting yourself and trusting in the greater good, and it worked out. You've leaned into love and how that has expanded you, even when it was hard. You've leaned into faith and you've been shown the way through. And so, yes, there's going to be challenges, of course, but the perspective change is to know that this is a sign of evolution. This is what evolution looks like, and our hearts are wanting evolution. So of course, this is what we're seeing. And again, it's absolute choice of you to look for the evidence that triggers more and more fear, or I'm going to look for the evidence that is showing me the world's evolution into more of what I desire it to be, more of a reflection of my heart. Then you can go back to a spiritual practice from this place of mind, body, spirit, emotion aligning with your truth, and ask from that place of centeredness, from that place of calm, from that place of alignment, that you are in alignment with heaven and earth. And you are this beautiful, powerful being with feminine and masculine aspects balanced together to support you to show up at this time, which is why you were born at this time. And how can I now be a part of creating the desire I seek to see in the world, to see that desire come into fruition into the world? How can I be that part of that change? Because that's why you're here. And so you may be called to do something political, environmental, spiritual, emotional. You, as an emotionally sensitive person, just being there to support others, to know that they can feel steady, that they can find peace from within, is so much more powerful than we give credit to. But you are the only one that can own that. You are the only one that can live that. And again, this is, I'm perfectly divine. And I got here from recognizing that imperfect ways that I go throughout my humanity, living my human life, is guiding me to my divinity. So this is not about you doing that perfectly. It's you understanding that when you lose your sense of peace, that you have found your way back to it. You're listening to things like this podcast. You're using spiritual tools. You are doing the pieces to support you to remember your divinity. And we're going to honor that, not from a place of you getting it perfect, not from a place of you getting it right, but from a place of you willing to do that inner peace that so many people blow off, don't recognize. And now this is all changing. This is the change. And you are going to be on the cusp, on the edge of doing that, because the beauty is that this time is not just a great external shift and time of change and transformation. It's a time for the same to be occurring within us internally. And in order to create that change that we desire on the external, we have to be able to find our own center, our own inner peace and love from within. And I believe you are part of the energy, the ripple effect, who's going to support bringing that forward as we go through change. And this is part of it. And you were built for it. So until next time, please remember that you are divine perfection exactly as you are. And there's nothing to prove, just to remember. Lean into your uncertainty and find your resilience, your inner knowingness, and your strength. I can't wait to connect with you again next week. Until then, take care.
I am so honored you have joined me today. If you enjoyed the I'm Perfectly Divine podcast, subscribe so you don't miss any of our power-filled episodes. Also, if you know another who is strong, sensitive, and spiritual and wants to dive deeper into emotions and ancient wisdom so they too can create profound peace and fulfillment from within, please share this podcast. Thank you again for joining me, and I look forward to reconnecting with you soon.